Hello all. Good evening, everyone who has joined on today's webinar. On behalf of Institute of Cost Accountants of India, Pimprinchur chapter and Nashik chapter, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all for the today's CEP webinar on the why SME struggle beyond the 25 crore, unlocking advisory opportunities for the CMAs. We often celebrate growth in numbers like turnover, scale, expansion. Yet many SMEs find themselves pausing at some point of time. Even they are struggling once they approach a certain threshold. So that's why we have selected today's theme: why SMEs struggle beyond the 25 crore and what are the opportunities for CMS over there. So this seminar will address a reality. It reminds us that growth is just not the ambition. It is all about the system, discipline, governance, and the right strategy guidance at the right point of time. This topic is especially relevant for us as a CMAs because for every successful decision, there is always a CMA. And beyond compliance, our true value lies in being growth partners, helping enterprises move from survival to sustainability and from scale to stability. The 25 crore mark is not just a barrier, it's a signal calling for sharper insights, stronger financial architecture, and data driven decision making. Today, we are privileged to have CMA Dr. Chaitanya Shah, a distinguished professional, who will take us through this today's webinar. So, I would like to also acknowledge and thank for the organizing team and leadership, both chapter chairman and both chapter PD committee members, CMA Mahendra Bombay, WSC member, and all those team members who have worked behind the to make this webinar happen. To all participants, I encourage you to listen not just as a professional but as an advisors in the making. May today's session spark the ideas, strengthen our conviction, and open new avenues for our professional impact. So, with this, once again, I welcome you all and formally invite CMA Dhananjay Yadav, sir, chairman of Nashik chapter, to introduce the today's speaker. Thank you and have a great learning experience. So, Dhananjay, sir, over to you.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening, all. Good evening, respected members, dear CMAs, students, and participants. On behalf of ICMI Nasik chapter, I am Dhananjay Jadhav, CMA Dhananjay Jadhav. Warmly welcome you all for today's CB program. The topic, as elaborated by CMA Sagar sir, why SME struggle beyond 25 crore, unlocking the advisory opportunities for CMAs. So 25 crore is definitely is a critical inflection point for many or Indian MSMEs. So growth constraint at this level often arises due to gaps in financial compliances, strategic planning, internal controls, MIs, and so many other things where CMAs can create significant advisory impact. Yeah, so it is therefore my privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker, CMA CA, Dr. Chaitanya Shah sir. Dr. Shah sir is a chartered accountant, cost and management accountant with a master's degree in financial management and also a PhD holder. He brings over 4 decades of professional experience, including senior level roles as general manager, vice president finance, and senior vice president in large organizations, corporates, where he worked closely with banks, financial institutions, and board level management for over more than 25 crores. Shah sir has been practicing as a finance and management advisor to MSMEs, providing hands-on support to bank business owners in profit planning, governance, internal controls, and integrated EMIs. So he has also served on SME committee of the Indian Merchant Chambers, which is part of Asian Development Bank advisory team for Indian MSMEs, and He is also a faculty, visiting faculty in leading management institutes. Also, recently he has been appointed as a mentor in AIC triple IT Kottayam as well as MASA Mumbai, and is a visiting faculty in Suriname MBA program. Shah sir is also an author of What Indian SMEs Need, published by IMC and sponsored by SBI SME Division, and also sponsored by BSc SME Exchange, and co-author of MSME Banking and Finance. We are confident that today's session will be providing practical insights into SME growth challenge and valuable advisory opportunities for CMAs like us. So, with this, I would request Shah sir to kindly take us through the session. Yeah, thank you, sir, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Yeah. Can I start?
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. At the outset, I would like to thank Mr. Sagar and Mr. Dhananjay Jadhav for giving me an opportunity to address the CMAs of our region, as well as I think across the country, and a wonderful introduction by Mr. Dhananjay. Uh, Today's this thing, I told Sagar to help me with the PPTs. The subject is very, very important, and I'm pulling almost 50 years of my experience in this field to the presentation. Can somebody help me with the PPT loading? I've shared the PPTs with the office.
Okay, sure, sir. Just give me a minute. I'll share the PPT.
Yeah.
Or if you have the PPT, you can just you will see a on the right hand side before share button is there. You can just click on that share and
1 minute. Yes.
so just click on that share button, and after that, uh, select the complete screen. Once you click on the share, he will ask you for two options, whether window or screen. So just select for the complete screen.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yes. And sir, now you can open your presentation. You can see your screen.
This is the one.
Correct. Yes.
No, sir. Just open the presentation, sir. We can see your WhatsApp
Presentation is
window.
already open.
Yeah. Sir,
Yes,
no, just
yes.
yeah.
Visible.
Okay, and now you can put this presentation.
Can
in
you
the,
see this?
yes, sir. We can
yes.
see.
Okay.
So now you can just put this
full screen.
presentation into the
Can I make it full
slideshow
screen?
format. Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes. Just select on it, sir.
Huh?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Now we can go ahead, sir. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Unfortunately, this is coming in the way. This icon of how do I remove this icon? Where I see the photograph and the this one.
Sir, which icon, sir? Sir, just so leave all it as it is, because we can see only the presentation. So you can just click the next button to go on the next slide.
Agreed, Sagar. Lekin I need to remove this because then only I'll be able to see the entire screen.
So if you see a slide dash over there, just select on the dash so that that window will get minimized.
Okay. Now I think it's perfectly okay.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
perfectly.
Okay. Great friends. This is a great topic and which is very close to my heart. Although it says 25 crores, the challenges start from 5-10 crores onwards. 25 crores is a benchmark where there is a lot of dilly-dallying going on. they go back to 15 crores, again they go to 20, 25 crores. But as we go along, we will see that.
Perfect.
Okay. I call it as a unlock SME potential. Now, objective of the session and the overview of the discussion which we will have in next about 1.5 hours or 2 hours is SMEs expectations from the Indian economy, opportunities and the limitations. Changing business ecosystem for last over a decade. SME owners limitations and the needs, which is a very, very key to this entire discussion and where our professional expertise is required by this group of people. Role and expectations from financial management. This is one area where I find that there are huge issues, and the advantage, my advantage, as Mr. Dhanraj said, is my qualifications as well as the exposure in the large corporates for about 20 years, which normally is not available with the SMEs which they are growing, as well as with the some of the professionals. Opportunities which lie for the CMAs in the entire process. What is the vision of the country? What country is looking forward from the MSMEs? The statistics speaks volumes and what they require. And we have seen the journey of MSMEs in last 10, 12 years. It was formally, the act was passed in 2006. Now, currently, the Indian economy is targeting to go to $10 trillion by 2030 and be number 3 economy in the world. Share in the GDP of the MSMEs is expected to grow from 30 to 40%. Share in export has to grow from 40 to 60%. Jobs in MSMEs, they are expecting that from 11 crores it will go to 18 crores plus. As of now, already 25 crores have moved above the poverty line in last 10 years. Most important, which we see what's happening today in the world, the Indian government and the focus is on promoting entrepreneurship and innovation. This is where the MSMEs are playing a great role. If you recall, in 2014, we had hardly any startups in the economy. Now in 2024, we have 130,000 plus startups, of which 115 are already unicorns with $1 billion. So in terms of opportunities, it's a phenomenal opportunity available to the MSMEs. And my experience is that their business models and their intelligence levels are phenomenal as compared to anywhere in the world. The ecosystem is also there. So we have to look forward how they can grow. The MSME statistics shows 6.4 crores for a long time, but my estimate is that there are about 11 crore MSMEs in the economy today. The MSMEs, of which 99% are micros, and by the latest definition, it means whose turnover is below 10 crores. SMEs with turnover between 10 to 500 crores is hardly 1%. So that is where the need is there, and there are also opportunities. And this is where the professionals like CMAs, we have a tremendous opportunities. The biggest challenge which I have seen in recent years, for maybe 15, 20 years, which I have been practicing, SMEs are not aware of where the shoe is pinching. And this is the fundamental issue and the basic problem which I have been noticing for last 25 years. And this is what we will discuss today and the opportunities which are there for the CMAs. Business objective. Whenever any entrepreneur sets up a business, what is his objective? He wants to create a long-term sustainable business. And when we are saying long-term sustainable business, there are certain fundamental conditions. One, it has to have optimum utilization of resources. Once you have optimum utilization of resources, you are one of the best for survival and growth. Second, you must do justice to all the stakeholders who are there in your business. Third is compliance of law of the land, which is performance plus credibility is good governance. Now, when you have these things complied with, the business is bound to flourish and grow to the next level and further and beyond. The whole business ecosystem, if you notice, has been changing in last 10-15 years, which we will have a brief overlook in the next few slides. What was happening earlier when we call it as a license Raj, the supply side was restricted and the demand was growing. As a result, the profits were being managed by increasing the selling price. Besides, because of high taxation, whether it was income tax, excise, sales tax, or maybe wealth tax and the estate duty, because of this, lot of unethical practices were there, and the proper understanding of the financials was not being there with the entire system. Profit was being managed. Now, with the changing economy system, when we are globally competitive, the profit you cannot increase by increasing the selling price. You have to basically control the cost because it's market driven. And when the cost is to be controlled, you require good management skills as well as good team to help you. Now, as a result of economy moving to the globally competitive thing, competition, complexities and uncertainties have increased tremendously. And this is where the challenges lie for the business owners as well as for us as a professional. Moreover, if you see in last 15 years or so, the next generation has become very aspirational and they want to grow at a very rapid pace. Things are changing very fast. The whole ecosystem in the business is changing. With the AI, things have become more complicated. The changing business ecosystem also has seen GST, which has simplified direct and indirect taxes, but simultaneously it has also plugged various loopholes which were there in the system. Faceless assessments, tighter norms for compliances, vigilance has increased from the government side, digitization and data mining. Because of this, the government is able to get the data, whatever they really need to basically control the entire thing. Demonetization has its impact, and as a result, the entire pressure on the business community is increasing to transparency and governance, focus on transparency and governance. And this is where cost control and management becomes the important tool for the people and for the professionals like us as CMAs. Now, in order to tackle what is the business response, how does the business respond to meet these challenges which has happened because of the change in the economic structure of the country? First, they have to have good financial planning and monitoring, which means that you ought to have the right person who can help you in this thing. And most important, the business owners must understand the importance of financial planning. Second is improved business processes and practices. Financial planning will not succeed unless there are improved business processes and practices which will really help them to create the right environment to get the right information. Third is cost effectiveness. Whatever costs are incurred, in order to increase the competitiveness of the business unit and to see that they survive in the difficult times, cost effectiveness has to be there. Then the decision support system. This is the basic fundamental thing which is required. The whole organization, starting from the top management, whether it is an individual or whether it's a board, Decision support system is required so that timely right decisions could be taken. All the above are cost and management accountants' cost core competencies. And this is where they need to excel and support the business owners in their growth journey in the fast changing economic environment. If you see the value chain of business functions, the fulcrum is that, if you see the business process starts from research and development, design of product services processes, production of these products and services, marketing, distribution, and customer service. All these are the basic core activities of the cost management, and they, as a fulcrum, rotate around the cost management activities who can control the entire organization cost structure and ensure that the unit is running profitably. Now, this is where what I have experienced in my 50 years of career is that evolution of financial management takes place slowly in an organization. When the unit is being set up from zero onwards, maybe up to 2 crores, 5 crores, now the revised definition is 10 crores. The unit is focusing more in validating the business idea and the services which they are offering. And this is where the focus is little less on the financial management. They basically want basic accounts and compliances. This is where because the micro unit and the owner, their focus is purely on validating and ensuring that there are proper markets available for their products and services. Next stage, when you become a small scale, the owner has to start focusing on the bottom line. Bottom line means the business has to be profitable and the profit has to be in line with the size of the business and what the other units in the economy or in the competitive industry are doing for their long-term survival. Besides, now focus also increases on funding. When the business is growing from micro to small scale, the funding becomes critical because the owner's resources are limited and they have to go for funding basically at this stage more from the banks and financial institution. So in this stage, besides financial accounting, role of cost accounting also becomes very important because they will be able to help monitor the cost and see that the required profits are being generated and the unit is profitable for growth for future. In the third stage, when you go to the medium scale, the business management, besides the product, because the product is established, market is known, now the unit has to grow and expand its territories, expand its range of products. And this is where the business management skills of the owner come to the fore. And in this stage, besides financial accounting, which is the core cost accounting, management accounting also becomes very, very important. Because this is where we will see as we go along what are the things which have to be unfolded for the owner. So understanding and appreciation of financial management is essential at all the stages. This is something which is universal, and the biggest advantage as a professionals we are having is that financial management is required in any type of a business anywhere in the world. Now, what I have seen that the entrepreneurial journey, which starts from say a micro or even startup or at a level where they are just struggling with the business idea, which is a kg level or a building cricket, it goes to the large scale. So you are moving from kg or a pre-kg level to the postgraduate level when you become a large scale. Or instead of playing cricket in a building which everybody is playing, you plan to go to the international level where you become a test player or a 2020 player or any other competitive cricket at that level. Now you know that how many players are there, how many students are there, and how many of them they become postgraduate international cricketers. It's a tough journey, and this is what requires a great amount of skill sets for the owner. The owner has to have a great skill set at different stages. If you grow from KG to primary, primary to secondary, secondary to graduation, graduation to postgraduate or to a PhD level, you require a very strong breadth of your skills which has to increase, and then only you are in a position to go to those levels. Now, this is the core of the issues which I find is restricting the SME owners from growing. And they keep on going in circles. We'll see some of the case studies which are there at the end. I have seen that quite a lot of people, they keep on going in circles. They are not able to get out of that ring. And as a result, what are the basic fundamental issues these people are facing is being discussed in this particular slide. MSME's characteristics and challenges. First is that SMEs are basically owner driven, and they are coming mostly from family managed businesses or technocrats from industry, or maybe now there are some special courses which are being done for the purpose of entrepreneurship. And this, as a result, their formal training or exposure to the corporate management, how to run the business, is not there. Second is lack of formal management training and exposure. They have not gone to any management schools or for getting an MBA degree or something where they get a 360-degree view of the business is missing. And this formal lack of management training is one of the biggest challenges that they are facing. Because of the first two, the MSMEs which are there, they are technical and marketing driven, which is basically in HR terms, if we call, they are line functions. They are critical. They are the main thing because you focus on production, technology, and marketing. But these line functions alone makes the balance very unequal and causes a huge problem, because the way line function is there, you also need the support function. Support functions are also critical. Resource constraints. And this they are focusing on technical and marketing because of the resource constraints, and mostly because of lack of their knowledge in these areas. They hardly know that what are the support functions, what is the importance of financial and management accounting, what is the importance of HR, what is the importance of planning, what is the importance of digitization, technology driven processes. Now, these are all basically on low priority. They don't understand the importance, and as a result, these functions create a huge bottleneck for them. Then another challenge which these people face is that there is a huge gap between the owner and the second line. The owner has brilliant ideas. That is what I have seen personally with many people, nothing less than 40, 50 people I have seen. They have brilliant business ideas and they have tremendous talent. But the second line is not trained. Second line is not even competent enough to take it forward from where the owner is willing to give them. And this is creating a huge issue in the SMEs. And one of the major issues which need to be addressed. And the owner has to basically take the responsibility on this. Next is the owner is too close to the point of action. He is so closely involved with his day-to-day operations, whether it is getting material, whether it is getting people, workers to the shop floor, whether it is getting the regular production, whether he has to take the dispatch or whether he has to arrange for the day-to-day money, for working capital. This is where he's so closely getting into the routine things involved that he has no time for planning. He's not able to basically look at the planning and on how basically he has to plan for maybe 1 month, 3 months, or a year. And this is the major issue where they need to focus on. Impact of liberalization and globalization. We have seen how the entire process has become too complicated and too competitive for anybody to survive. Last but not the least is SME owners find it extremely difficult for various reasons of attracting and retaining the talent. First reason is they cannot offer what the large corporates are offering. Secondly, they cannot offer a kind of a career growth which the large corporates can offer. And this set of challenges mainly restricts the SMEs and the MSMEs from their growth, which needs to be focused on as we are trying to address a situation where the SMEs have to grow and how we as professionals can help them. This is the pictorial or a graph depiction. If you see idea validation, which is maybe starting from 0 or 1 crore, the business is growing to the level of 500 crores and then become the large scale. The x-axis shows the increase in the turnover and the y-axis shows the management skills, the way they need to improve upon their management skills, because unless they increase the management skills, they cannot grow their business to the desired level. Their turnover will not increase. So this is where their management skill needs to be addressed. They have to focus on it. The entire business ecosystem, personally, which I will talk at the end, that what personally as professionals we also need to do to help them to come out of this thing and how to educate them in this particular thing. Um, Sagar and Mr. Dhanraj, if there is any query, do you want me to ask them anything?
Uh,
Hello. Hello. Do they have any queries?
No, sir. But maybe we can take the question at last.
yeah, we can discuss at the end. That will be better.
Okay.
Okay. And meanwhile, I request all the audience, of the CNA, respected members, if you come across any questions, please.
Your voice is not clear.
Your
voice is breaking.
Yeah. I think there is some voice issue. So I request all the participants to please note down all your queries so that we can discuss at the end. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I go ahead.
Yes, sir, please. Yes, sir, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Entrepreneur's role. Now, in the context of earlier slides which I have discussed, what should be ideally the entrepreneur's role so that the organization can grow? First is entrepreneur needs to have a lot of qualities and skills. Of this, besides vision, passion, and business model, I'm focusing on two particular things from our today's discussion. This thing, that is values and building a team. It is very important that in today's context, the values which the owner is holding, he must have strong values of transparency, of building teams, of being honest to the customers. A lot of value system he must have. Secondly, he must believe that a strong team is required for growth. This is the fundamental principle for any SME to grow to the higher level. Second is empowering finance function. what I have seen is that in most of the SMEs, the finance function is not properly empowered. And this is causing a huge issue in terms of finance people giving their best unless they are empowered. Yes, they need to be checked. There should be check and control balance system with them, but they must be empowered so that they can create the necessary control mechanism within the organization. I'll just give you an example. When I was in large industries, there was a issue, and one of the Delhi office people, they were not forwarding their statement of accounts and all that in time. So I just told the management that this is the position and this delays the entire process. So management said, what do you want to do? I said, I simply want to stop sending money to them unless they send the accounts in time. Management agreed, and then onwards, the account started coming in time by or 30 at the end of the month, first or second it will come. So this kind of empowerment is necessary for the finance team. Third is, this is the role of the finance team. They need to build strong systems and processes. Systems and processes will ensure as the organization grows, it is only the strong systems and processes which will ensure that the quality of data is most reliable. And you can rely on those numbers. You can rely on that information. So this is the very important contribution from the finance team or from CMAs when we take up this kind of a role. Flowing from this will be the integrated MIS system, management information system, and dissemination of this information to the right people at the right time. Third and fourth, they go hand in hand. And this is where management and the finance team has to work hand in glove so that the necessary desired requirements are addressed and they are properly fulfilled. Now, with this, if you see, as we saw in the first slide, what is the purpose? If you need to have a optimization of your resource utilization, these things will help you to provide with the improved performance, which will increase credibility with your stakeholders. And this is where the organization can grow in a big way. Over years, particularly in last 25, 30 years, the role of finance function has changed. Earlier, they were purely accountant. Accountant means they were just told you write these entries, that's all. They had no other role to play. Then from there, they started becoming controller. The management started giving them little more power and they became controller of, ये ठीक है कि नहीं, ये voucher बराबर है कि नहीं, those kind of things were there. From there, in a very competitive and change business economy, the way the entire economic structure has changed, the finance function is becoming a facilitator and a business partner to the owner, which is a very, very important role. And this is where the finance professionals like CMAs, we can play a very, very important role in the entire process. And this change which has taken place. We have to also as professionals understand and ensure that we come up to these levels of expectation and the requirement from the economy as well as from the business ecosystem. In this changing environment, what has happened? The finance function itself, there is a lot of refocusing in the finance function. Earlier, the finance function was more concerned and busy in transaction processing. That is basically writing books of accounts. And maybe some of you maybe have seen the time when the annual accounts were getting ready 3 months, 4 months after the end of the year. So that transaction processing was taking too much of time and was delaying the entire thing. Then 20% of the time was spent in reporting of the finance function. 30% time was going for controlling. परचेज का प्राइस ठीक है कि नहीं, कंजम्पशन ठीक है कि नहीं, वाउचर ठीक है कि नहीं, बैंक एंट्री ठीक है कि नहीं. So they were more busy with the control function. And decision support system for the management was hardly 10%. And this was not even considered important in those days. Now, in the changed economic system, in the changed economic scenario, the very competitive environment, world global economy which is operating today, the things have gone upside down. With the automated systems of accounting, you need only 20% of the time in terms of creating your books of accounts and all. Value added services, you are spending more 20%. So you are able to give more inputs to your other functional areas and all that. Process redesigning has also, control function is reduced from 30% to 10%. And most important, the decision support, where earlier only 10% of the time was spent, now the finance function has to give 50% of its time, not only to the top management and the owner, but also to the other cross-functional areas, because he's considered more as a coordinator of the financial result. Because as a fulcrum, finance is the role where everything integrates. So this refocusing of the function is very, very important, and we have to focus on this area, how we can add value. Financial management and management pyramid. This is what is the challenge which is being faced by the SMEs and which needs to be addressed. Broadly, the management pyramid at the top is focusing on the strategic management. This is where the top management has to focus on. The middle level, tactical management, it is the integration of different functions to see that the organization moves in a pre-decided goals, pre-decided objectives. That this is where we really have to focus on. Now, this requires all the functional areas to work in tandem, and that needs to be managed. And the lowest ring, the lowest part, which is the operational management. Operational management means that each function, whether it is production, whether it is marketing, whether it is inventories or the materials, or whether it is a finance function, they have to ensure that within their own function at the operational level, they have perfect information, perfect data compilation, and which is accurate and timely, which is the core which has to be there to see that the other two functions at the top, integration with the different functions, as well as the top management, the requirement of strategic planning is met with. This is where all the three has to integrate. Unfortunately, what I have found over years, and this is really a painful process for me and a real challenge. Today, most of the SMEs are focusing only on the third layer. They are struggling in each function at the operational level. Hence, the second and the first level is totally missed. The total loss of sight. They are not able to focus on that, because the ground level from where the entire process starts, that itself they are struggling. And this is a real challenge, and this is where lot of opportunities are lying for us. Now, this I'll give you a case study. This is what I have seen in one of the organization, or most of the organizations, where I have given as a financial and management advisor to the SMEs and SME owners. As I mentioned, for strategic management and tactical management, there is a very low, we hardly look into that particular part. What happens is that at the operational level, the owners, if owner is one, or whether he has some family member, son or something, This is what happens. They divide marketing, sales, production, purchase, and accounts, main, line functions kind of a thing. They focus on these areas, divide between them that I am looking after this, I am looking after this, I am looking up, and they focus only on the routine operational requirements. The first and second, which is the strategic and the tactical management, process integration of the different functions, is normally not properly addressed. And that is where the challenges lie. And they are not able to address this properly because of lack of understanding, lack of data, lack of focus on these areas. And as a result, they are not able to grow. They keep on facing challenges on these areas. Now, if you see, when an organization is growing and SME is growing, maybe say from 10, 15 crores kind of a thing to 20, 20 crores, what are the short-term goals? What they are supposed to look at in terms of short-term? One is managing current sales and profits, the top line and the bottom line. Once this is there, so they feel little comfortable कि ये चलो पैसा मिल गया, इतना सेल हो गया. Second is sales and cost of production. Third is creditors, debtors, and inventories. Next is cash flow management. Then routine statutory compliances. Now, last one, timely, accurate, and adequate information. That is the foundation for growth. If they can manage this along with the entire process which are there, as a short-term goals for a small company, this is the first stage they have to get out of it, and they have to cross it with distinction kind of a thing and move to the next level. In medium term, when they are getting more organized, take more professional services from CMAs and others, and grow to the next level, in medium term goals, what will happen? They will start understanding the importance of top and bottom line management, how the sales is growing, how the profits are growing, whether they are in line with their basic planning. So this is where they will start focusing more. Designing and implementation of annual budgets. For getting first, they have to see that designing and implementation of annual budgets are also there. And this will help them to monitor one with greater clarity and with greater focus. Third is performance review integrated MIS. You start having integrated MIS as we discussed from the earlier slides. If you have complete integrated MIS, you are in a position to pinpoint which of the function has had the problem and what is required to be fixed, what is required to be corrected. And this performance review will help the organization and the management and the owner to work in a tandem to see that the organization's grows in a very focused way. Decisions on product mix and capacity planning. This is something which I think is our core capability as a cost accountant. What is the product mix? Does the organization look at the right kind of a product mix? And whether the optimum capacity utilization is being planned or not, and whether it is taking place or not. Is there any possibility of improving on it so as to improve the top line as well as the bottom line? So this is something which is very crucial. I have seen in one of the case studies, I will show how this particular thing has helped the management. Cash flow planning and working capital management. SME's biggest challenge is cash flow planning. They from time to time they run into difficulties, cash shortages. They run from pillar to post, to make two ends meet on the entire process. Now this is where once they are getting more organized, their cash flow planning and working capital management has to improve in the medium term goals. Monitoring capital expenditure and asset management. They have to ensure that whatever is my asset block, fixed assets block, whatever my production capacities are there, whether any capital expenditure is required, if so, how they monitor that capital expenditure, right kind of capital expenditure has to be there, and then there has to be a proper asset management. Overall, whatever the asset block is there, it has to be properly utilized. Then tax planning and administration. how tax planning is being done, whether it is direct, indirect, whatever, and the administration, HR and all has to be seen. So these become the medium term goals for them to create a base to go to the long term goals and strategies. In the long term goals and strategies, what will happen? They will have to review the current business activities. In today's context, we know how fast the economy is changing. The world economy, the entire business scenario, suddenly some businesses are very profitable and then next day or next year it may not be there. It may not be viable, or it may not be so lucrative. So they have to keep on reviewing the current business activities and the future activities which need to be added. So they have to explore new lines of activities, economic system, what is the economy, and how we have to basically adjust to that particular thing. Now, just one particular small case somebody mentioned to me in Baroda, just because of the GPay, what happened? This tea vendor, he was selling, tea for maybe 15, 20 years. And after this GPay came, one good cost accountant visited, he had a tea and he just asked him कि भैया आप कितना साल से ये कर रहे हो? बोला मैं 15-20 साल से कर रहा हूँ. तो आपको कुछ ग्रो नहीं करना है? हाँ मेरे को करना है. I want to open my own small business where I can serve snacks and tea and it's not sort of a small restaurant kind of a thing. So he looked at his GPay collection account and he noticed that this guy was making anything between 5 to 7 lakhs of rupees only by selling tea every month. He compiled this data, asked him to go to the bank gave him the loan, and he slowly started with a small tapri, and within 2 years had a very good small restaurant, wayside, highway side restaurant, and he was able to grow, which he was not able to do for 15, 20 years. So this is the kind of opportunity which is available in the change economic system. Financial structuring. He has to, people when they are going into the long-term goals and strategies, you have to look at your financial structuring. Today, finance is one of the most challenging in terms of organizing their finance and the strategies on a long-term basis. Today, we know how complicated and how volatile the entire financial structures are, how the businesses are failing, how the businesses are making or minting money from a good financial structure. SMEs financing, SME IPOs is a boom today because of the opportunities which are available. But which this needs to be handled in a proper manner. Strategic cost management. We have to see that the costs are properly controlled so that the top line is also managed properly. Business risk management, considering the very volatile with what is happening in the world today, all different types of uncertainties prevailing. Your business risk management has to be proper so that you are in a position to survive on a long-term basis. I've just given an example to explain strategic, tactical, and operations management. Marketing function has to give the sales plan. They work on the sales plan and get the sales plan. PPC, production planning and control, which is basically a coordination activity between the production department and the marketing department. They will look at the finished goods inventory, work in process adjustments, material, and arrive at the materials requirement based on the marketing plan and the production capacities which are available within an organization. Then comes the role of inventory and stores department. What are the materials in stock? What stock levels are required to be maintained? With this, they will give their own requirement. This is the kind of inventory which is required for a particular period and on so and so time frame. That will be sent to purchase department and they will place the orders considering the lead times so as to meet the requirement of the inventory stores to PPC and to marketing. And the finance department, based on these order placements and the marketing sales plan and all that, will work out the cash flow management and create an MIS. Now, if you see the three levels of management, strategic management is something where you are setting targets, goals. So whatever is your sales plan, materials plan, inventory plans, this will be all getting into the strategic management, which you are putting it as a goals. And on this, the MIS will be worked out, and the respective heads of the department, whether it is marketing, whether it is production, whether it is commercial or finance, they will be responsible for it. Technical management will be involved, where the various functions will have to coordinate amongst themselves. This coordination becomes very important, because unless the coordination is there, none of these things will work. And that is what is happening today with most of the SMEs. Operations management, in each function, what we saw in that triangle at the bottom, which is the maximum activity, in each of the functions, they have to keep on working and updating with the precise system, that what the sales plan are there, what are the orders flowing in from various customers, what are the different products which are there, what is the lead time and all that, considering the PPC and the production requirement. Now, this role clarity is something which is essential for the organization SMEs to grow. Initially, they may have problems, but over a period of time, they have to fall in line to improve their efficiency, overall efficiency. In this context, what is the advantage of the chartered cost and management accountant? First is, most of the CMAs, they have a long-term association with their clients. And as a result, they enjoy their full trust and confidence, which is the core for, because once the client is trusting you, you are in a position to tell him something, and he will feel more confident, because the CMAs have a very long association with them. They have relied on their advice for a long time. Now, this will also help, because CMAs, they know what is the business owner, his business, and the owner. The CMA has a good understanding of both the business owner's business as well as the business owner. As a result, he is able to structure the advice properly. And last, what I have found is that CMAs have a lot of knowledge and skills, which when I passed out in 70s, my cost accounting examination, I know the syllabus is very beautifully designed. It may require some change, but quite a lot of these skills are dormant. Whatever I have discussed so far and what I will be discussing further, what has happened, quite a lot of skills are not utilized. One of the things which I would mention, recently I read some article where, he's suggesting, that the CMS should now learn the ERPs. I'm not against that. ERP one must learn, but ERP is a separate field, separate function by itself. What information we need and how to take it from ERP is where our focus should be. So we have to utilize our knowledge and skills, how to optimize the production, how to control different functions, how to create a proper MIS to take the right decisions. That is where we need to focus on. Expertise, we have seen the triangle from top to bottom. Now we are going from bottom to top. The thing is, when we are having, hello, dial in once again means, just check and let me know.
Hello.
Because, yeah, 1 minute.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Can you
Yes,
hear
yes.
me?
Now audio. Yes, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Did you miss anything more? I'm on slide 25 now.
Yes, sir. It is 25, sir.
No, but you have heard up to 24, everybody?
Yes, yes, sir. Definitely.
Okay. See, what
Yes,
is
sir.
happening? Yeah. The earlier triangle, it focused that, only maybe 5% of the time which is required in the strategic management, 5 to 10% of the time. But when we are looking at the expertise, experience, and the knowledge base, it reverses. If you have to do the strategic management as a business analyst, management accounting, your knowledge should be 85% to understand the business and the economic environment within which your business is operating. So this is where, although in terms of time, it may be only 5%, but in terms of your skill sets, it requires 85% of the knowledge. In the center, it is same. You require about 15-20% for process integration to act as a facilitator for budgets and cost accounting to see that the entire process is falling in place. At functional level, although it may be 80% of your activity, but in terms of skill sets, as a catalyst, you require only 5-10% of the overall skill because it's a routine thing. Once you have set the systems, it has to automatically flow in that particular process. In short, MSMEs don't plan to fail, but they fail to plan. And hence, they need to focus, and there lies the opportunity for us as CMAs. There are huge opportunities, huge requirements. I have spent almost 25-30 years of my life, and I can vouch on it. We'll be discussing something. I'll be giving my vision and mission in the times to come. But there are tremendous opportunities. Opportunities. Now I'm coming to the opportunity part. What are the opportunities for CMS? I would broadly divide the opportunities into two parts. One is the CFO services and another is CFO related services. Most of you would have heard about CFO outsourcing or virtual CFO. I had put my hands first when I moved out from industry. This was the first thing which I started, and I would say I was the pioneer. Business Standard carried my interview on the first page regarding the CFO outsourcing. So these are the two services within which we will try to break up the services which are available to us as CMS. CMS CFO related services are like this: designing accounting system, chart of accounts. I feel extremely concerned that most of the SMEs, they do not have proper financial accounting systems. And the major reason is they have no concept of how to and what is expected from the financial accounting system. What is the basic which is required to be done? Now, this is where they can help the SMEs by building the right financial accounting system, which is the core starting point for the organization. Second is, once the basic accounting systems are decided, the financial accounting system is decided for P&L account, balance sheet, and the cash flow. The next is systems and processes. How these systems and processes need to be laid down within the organization, different functions, so that the information flowing to the accounts department, all the vouchers and the systems, they are accurate and properly coordinated so that there are no differences in the different numbers which are coming out. Then comes, which is our core competency, designing of costing system. Costing system is very important to ensure that how to optimize the resource utilization of an organization. There is a wonderful book called The Goal by one Mr. Goddard. I would strongly recommend, if you have not read, to read that book, which very beautifully in a very story form explains what is the plant operation and how it can be optimized. And that is where the costing systems come in. Next is inventory systems. How the inventories need, because it is one of the major cost in terms of investment in the business. So inventory systems need to be designed properly, production planning and control, it has to be properly integrated with that, so that no stock out situations are there. At the same time, there are no excess inventory situations there. From there, one can also look at projections and quarterly. If you have a good understanding, once all these systems are laid down, you can help the SME client with helping them to create projections quarterly and yearly and help them in monitoring them. How these things can be monitored so that the overall performance of the SME is monitored properly, professionally, and in such a manner that the pinpointing of the right errors where the mistakes are taking place, computerizing. Then you help them in computerizing the entire ERP system and see that their data accuracy is increased, and you are also able to cut the time frame. If the management, the owner is able to get the previous month figures by 7th, it's fantastic. In a large corporate with 300, 400 crores turnover, I'm talking of 1995, 96. We used to get the information totally compiled by 6th, and 7th it will be discussed with the owner and the board members. MIS reports. What MIS reports need to be generated and how they need to be disseminated to the various people so that there is a very, very fruitful and effective discussion between the owner and the concerned people who are responsible in different functional areas. This will help in terms of understanding and reviewing the performance of the functional heads by the owner. Opportunities for CMAs. This is not as a part of the CFO role, but as another opportunities for CMAs, which is standalone of services which can be offered. One is the regular audit, taxation, GST and all that. Second, very important, is the internal audit. Whatever I had seen in my career as an internal auditor, I also worked as an internal auditor for a very big IT company. The value addition is generally minimal. Internal audit is seen as just a compliance because it is required under the Companies Act to have the internal audit. People have this internal audit department, but there is hardly any value addition. Internal audit can work wonderfully and can provide tremendous value addition in terms of whatever changes are required in the existing system. They have to see that they are properly implemented, properly executed, and whatever changes are required, they need to basically focus on that. Funding from banks and NBFCs. CMS can help those who are being into the bank and NBFCs. There are different things which one of the case I have taken and what is required. I have dealt a little bit in detail on this particular aspect. Then IBC valuers, insolvency and bankruptcy code which has come now in recent times. Valuers' role is tremendous, and in this I find a lot of people are getting into it. Angel venture and private equity, they can play a phenomenal role in terms of coordinating or getting funding for those people, and also helping them to coordinate better with these funds, who give this money to them. SME IPOs, which is a hot topic now, and most of the companies who are very clear on this, that they want to go for an SME IPO. Now, this is where one of the services which I had looked at and which I am looking at is the act as a SME IPO coordinator. These SMEs, by and large, do not have a very seasoned professional who can help them to coordinate effectively with the outside agencies and internally within the organization, because when you go for an IPO, one of the most important thing is the governance. How to overall improve the governance standards of the organization, because earlier you were alone and you were doing on your own, nobody was much bothered about it. But when you go for an IPO, you are accountable to larger section of the people, including the stock exchanges, government bodies, and whatnot. So this is where it's a huge opportunity for people with the industry experience. Credit rating. This, according to me, is a fantastic opportunity for CMAs, and more than that, it can be a tremendous, what you say, a opportunity for a SME to understand what they are lacking. Because when you go for credit rating, it will analyze your business with respect to the economy as well as with respect to the competing environment, and tell you where you are failing. And this is where huge value addition could be seen. Then there are a lot of MSMEs related schemes in the MSME Act, and every day, every week, some new schemes which keep on coming through the government, through the funding organizations, and through other agencies which keep on coming. Now, these opportunities can give you tremendous scope. Now,
Sorry, sir,
banking.
intervent. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm speaking Prasant, CMA Prasant Subudhi. You are
Yeah.
telling as a CMA for making advising in a credit trading agency. Can you elaborate that 2 point? How can a practicing CMA help in the credit trading agency, because they are done by specialized agencies only?
No,
Can
no, no. You act as a coordinator.
yes.
Credit rating is done by the specialized agency only, like ICRA and CRISIL and all
Correct.
that.
Exactly.
But for the SME, you do the coordination job.
Okay. Okay.
If you have a
What is
SME client, you insist, you suggest to them that they should go for a credit rating.
correct? Correct.
See, credit
Okay.
rating report is like your medical report.
Okay. For
It
bank,
will
it will
give
help
you,
them for bank funding.
huh?
It will help them to get as a SME IPO, or they may get funding
Yes, yes,
like
yes, yes.
long term
Yes,
fund expansion.
yes. It will help them to raise funds.
Mhm.
But along with that, most important is it will also provide them with a lot of inputs, like as I mentioned, like a medical report, that whether
Okay.
your blood sugar is okay or not, whether your heartbeats are okay or not, where the
Okay.
organization is lacking.
Okay. Okay. Mhm.
So credit rating is one of the best thing, one can do it. Next, now banking, I'm just focusing something, which I keep on observing with a lot of SME clients. When you are doing banking, there are two parties to the transaction. One is the lender and the other is the borrower. Lender, which is basically a bank
How?
or a non-banking company, they are fully equipped with their knowledge.
Nah. Oh.
The problem is with the borrower. Borrower is not very clear about what they really need to do. And this is where we need to look at. As a borrower, he has to first assess the requirements. What is the requirement of funds for the SME? Second is, because of the changes which have taken place in last 10, 15 years, somebody is talking.
So all the participants to please be on mute. Membership number 39447. My request would be to please be on mute. Membership number 39447. Just a second.
I continue.
Just a second, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm just throwing some light about the funding part. What the issues, because the lender, the banks, and the NBFCs are very clear about what they want to do and how they're going to fund the SME. SME is not clear. So this is where CMAs can have again a great opportunity. First is the assessment of requirements. What exactly is the requirement of funding for the SME is something which is very important they need to look at. Second is sources. For MSMEs today there are n number of opportunities from where they can borrow. So they need to evaluate which is the best source in terms of considering all the requirements. Third, where the MSMEs are failing in a big way is presentation. If I have to go and borrow money from the bank or from any NBFC or something, I must have clarity. My presentation should be clear. I find that presentations are horrible. And how to follow up, because most of the time, even when the bankers are not giving, one of the main reason is the presentation is not proper. Their understanding of the banking requirements, what the banks require, is very poor. Now this is where a excellent role can be played by the CMAs. And then post completion analysis. Today what I have found is SMEs just simply say I need 2 crores, I need 5 crores, I need 10 crores. They have no clarity as to why these funds are required and how they are to be used and how they are going to use it. I'll give you an example of this. I have talked to one client, for his turnover in 22-23 was 16 crores. Somebody in between came and projected his business at 30 crores. And based on that, he got a loan, bank working capital loan of 12 crores. And in 23-24, when the actuals came, his turnover was only 14 crores. Now imagine what will be the situation of the borrower and how the bank will run after him. This is a classic example how the bankers are getting afraid. They are, on one hand, bankers have a lot of liquidity. On the other hand, SMEs are striving for money, but they don't basically look at, that why they are not giving the money. This is what needs to be looked at. Credit rating, I think someone asked for it. Credit worthiness, sustainability of business plan, long-term viability, and improvement areas. Credit rating agencies have a excellent understanding of two things, or rather three things. One is that they have the complete economic picture with them. Second thing is they also know about the industry. In whichever industry the SME is operating, they have a complete picture at the national level of that particular industry. And the third thing is that when you go for credit rating of that particular unit, they will be able to analyze the unit actual situation with respect to what is required, what are the scopes, and in this process, they will be able to give you a complete diagnostic report as to what is required to be done. And this is where the fantastic opportunities are there, because CMS can contribute in a big way. Big way means real big way, because they will get the entire understanding from the credit rating agency as well as the actual what is required to be done for the SME. Credit worthiness, sustainability of business plan, long-term viability, improvement areas. This is what the credit rating agency will tell you, that this is the thing which your client needs. And this is where credit rating agency has a huge thing, and rating will really help. One of the thing which I suggest is, the institute can take up a program with somebody like IIM Ahmedabad or some other, management institute, where management and finance for cost accountants program is developed. Objective is to help CMAs in acquiring a broader perspective relevant to the business and management within and outside their areas of expertise and required managerial competencies and skills in order to contribute effectively to their organization and clients. This is something which our institute need to take up with some management institute. Now, This is what a pictorial presentation of SME issue. Normally, SMEs and sometimes even the service providers, they are looking at the effect. Business is not making money. Nobody is giving them the funding. The product mix is not proper. Now, these are all the effects. We need to look at the cause. As they say that if the tip of the iceberg is only 1/8, 7/8 is the cause which is not being analyzed. And this is where our entire abilities, our expertise has to be channelized to give these services to the SMEs for their growth, because they badly need this. I think I have no words to emphasize this particular thing. I have seen many of them suffering and going into the circle. They go between 10, 15 crores to 30 crores and then again come back to 15 crores. And within this only they keep on, just moving around. So this is where the cause and effect has to be understood. This is one of my most favorite topics. This is decision making, and I call it as a business GPS. Integrated MIS system is something which should help the businesses to create this business GPS. What does this chart indicate? If the business has to go from A to B, like what in GPS we say, that I want to go from a particular point to particular point, they will show you the shortest possible way in the minimum time, how you can reach. The business GPS of MIS and the decision making should also tell you if you are very accurate, if you go properly from A to B, you reach in 9 steps. But if you do not go properly and if you keep on just taking something, a decision liya, wo liya, and then keep on just moving around without any GPS, then you may take 21 steps or maybe even 33 steps. Now, in the process, what will happen? You waste time, you waste money, and you waste energy. I'm just giving a simple example. Say you want to have a letter of credit. Now, letter of credit, if you are very clear, professional in your approach, say you are getting it in 9 days. But if you are not proper, if you are not properly equipped with the information and the expertise of doing it, you may take 21 days or you may take even 33 days. Now, imagine the kind of damage this will do to the organization in the process. And this is what needs to be basically looked into. Now, this slide is from one Mr. Michael Gerber. He is the world-renowned authority. I think he is no more. He started in 70s and constructed this E-Myth organization, who is #1 in the world today for SME advisory. The entrepreneur, it's a beautiful definition of role of an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is not really interested in doing the work. He is interested in creating the way the company operates. In that regard, the entrepreneur is an inventor. He or she loves to invent, but does not love to manufacture or sell or distribute what he or she invents. Now, what does it mean? The entrepreneurial role should fuel your freedom, not suck the life out of you. You have to work in you are not supposed to work in your business. You have to work on your business. What does it mean? Normally, what happens is that SME owners, after a certain stage, keeps on going in circles because he's too closely involved. He's too closely involved with the day-to-day activities. He has to start learning to look at it from a distance and start delegating and developing people and systems. This is what it exactly means. You have to start delegating, create proper systems, and this is where we as CMS can play a huge role. The owner, the entrepreneur, he has to conceptualize that how his business is going to work. implement his ideas, create the business, and slowly operationalize and pass it on to the next line. And this is what all large successful business houses do. Their personal experience is based on this. And hence, I always say that entrepreneurs don't need fish, they need to learn fishing. I hope all of you have heard this particular sentence. If you give a fish to somebody, you are just helping him to finish, one of his, meal is done. Next meal again, he will be looking for fish from you. But if you teach him how to learn the fishing, you are solving his problem on a permanent basis. This is what business SME owners need as of now. They have tremendous opportunities for growth. They are not knowing exactly where the shoe is pinching. And this is where I will talk about it later on in my last slide, what exactly I'm working on. Some key messages. See, business fundas. Business fundas are in business, as in ABCD, there are 26 alphabets. In 26 alphabets, it all depends how you use it. You can create a classic article or a poem like Kalidas, or you can have a very simple message or a stupid message also. It all depends on your ability, your innovative ideas, how you want to use those alphabets. Secondly, in business, you need a blueprint. If you are constructing a very big business, a very big building or a structure, you start with a blueprint. And based on that blueprint, you slowly and gradually start constructing. You may be taking 15 activities simultaneously, but that blueprint is the guiding force which will help you to construct the building. Same way, a businessman must have, this is your business plan, this is your business decision, that this 3 years or 5 years down the line, my business has to be like this, to build a solid structure. So business planning, your strategic planning, whatever you call it, has to be in place. Secondly, owner is like a music director. If you notice, in a big orchestra, there may be 300, 400 instrument players, but there is one music director. He keeps on, through his hands, he keeps on telling, how these instruments have to play and create a wonderful music. Mind you, none of these people, they know any of the instrument, how this instrument is to be played. Still, as a music director, they create fantastic music like Naushad or Shankar Jaikishan, or like that. They don't know how to play any of the instrument, but still they direct and create a huge, fantastic music. Similarly, if you see a car has so many different parts, but if you want to drive, you need to know only few functions. Similarly, in business, when you want to drive the business, you don't need to know every nitty-gritty of the business, how the whole business is being done. You need to know what exactly, as an owner or as a main CEO or the managing director of the company, what you should be knowing to drive the business properly. Rest of the time, people are available. Here are few case studies. Excuse me, do I have time another 10-15 minutes?
Sir, please.
Yes,
Sir,
yes,
please.
continue, sir.
Okay. Now, these are the few case studies because of the, these people have told me I can take a little time. So I will go a little bit into detail on these case studies. See, I had one of the clients who was wonderful in terms of his waterproofing understanding and technology. But his problem was that he had never done the market study. And as a result, his pricing was not proper. And because his pricing was not proper, he was not able to make the profit. Once we sat down and we started looking into the different cost structures and all that, which was fairly okay, we looked at the pricing, what the other people are pricing in the same area and in the same city. Then his profit started coming in a big way. Opposite to that, one tire manufacturing company, the owner was very clear And this is a very peculiar type of entrepreneurs we have in our country, or maybe anywhere in the world. I call them as a satisfied underperformers. Although they have good talent, they have good business, their business is doing well, but they don't want to grow. I call them as satisfied underperformers. They don't want to grow. Classic example of limitations of a technocrat, what we just discussed, I mentioned about it, that the entrepreneurs, they are basically technocrats. They know their market and they know the technology. This particular gentleman in Indore, he worked with a very big fertilizer company, and he was in the production department. So he knew the production process. He also had some idea from where the material is coming, and he also had some idea as to where this material is being sold. So he thought that, I can become an industrialist. I can start my business. He started the business, and 3-4 years after he was in the business, somebody referred him to me. It was a total disaster. And when I went and saw him, I had a very detailed discussion with him for a day and a half. And I suggested either you take some very good commercial partner or you close down the business, because you have no understanding of commercial. There is one another logistic company, wonderful business for almost 90 to 100 years. And they wanted, to, as a part of the growth of the business, they wanted to create branches as a profit center. And I helped them out how the entire accounts need to be reconciled. What we discussed earlier, now this is the process, how you really go for building, or going detail. When you go into the detail, your accounting system has to basically coincide with it and give the required numbers. One of the wonderful businesses, they were into the wristwatch belt manufacturing and coating of those belts. Extraordinarily brilliant entrepreneur. He was coming from US after about 10-15 years of experience and mastering that technology. But just because he didn't have the financial understanding, he didn't listen to the finance advisors, and he had no financial discipline, and kept on investing in technology and capex, ignored costing, ignored pricing, ignored the commercial, discipline which was there, and landed himself into some kind of a trouble. With great difficulty, he could come out. Similarly, in Baroda, there was one confectionery manufacturer. His only problem was he was getting into too many products. After our discussion, just told him that he should basically focus on only 5 or 10 products, which will help him to control his inventory at all levels and increase the sales. Within 1 year, the business turned around in a big way. One rubber stopper manufacturer, in pharma industry, they had a problem, and the person was coming from USA with technology, fantastic knowledge, making rubber stoppers, and he had excellent clientele. All multinational pharma companies were his client. His basic problem was optimizing operations. He's Because he was more a commercial person, and a marketing person, he was not able to organize his shop floor level operations. And once these operations were streamlined, he started seeing that, the business is getting back into the proper mode where he can grow the business in a proper way. This was another great example. um, a manufacturing unit in Daman, they were manufacturing aluminum collapsible tubes for pharma industry. When the person approached me, he said, sir, I'm facing a problem. I am getting a lot of orders, but I'm not able to deliver them because of the capacity constraint. So we need to see how it can be done. I said I will not comment anything right now. Let us study. So once I started the looking at the entire operations, within 1.5, 2 months, he himself and his team agreed that capacity was not a constraint. The company was, or the business was, running only at 70% of the capacity and not at 100%, because the balancing of capacity was not done. It was not properly assessed, and they were thinking that they cannot take the orders. I said, you take the orders, the capacity has to be there. Now these are the kind of things which will be there. Now, importance of dissemination of information. This was a company which was into the construction, and excellent business, grew from about 15 crores to 150 crores. His biggest challenge was dissemination of information, compiling the right information, and that dissemination of information to the right people, to the right organization structure. Once he did this, he was in a position to better run the business. His lot of issues were sorted out, and he said, okay, no, with this now I feel very comfortable. This particular case, father and son, they were into kitchen business, modular kitchen business. Now, father had done fantastic work and very good business, very profitable, highly profitable. The only problem that they had done was that what we call it as the succession planning was not done properly. And the father was feeling a little insecure financially because he never planned his business and personal finance separately and built his own, security. And as a result, they went on, fighting or, having strong difference of opinion for 2, 3 years. Once this was settled, father was feeling comfortable and son also started, running the business properly and with good returns available to him. In this particular cranes business in Gujarat, had basic issue of inventory management, because in that crane business inventory was a big issue, and that is where the problem was there. One another business where personal wants versus business needs. The owner always focused more on his personal wants. He would always prefer to, switch over a car in 6 months, maybe look at some foreign trips and all that. When he started realizing that my business is suffering because of this, and my business needs to be met first, and after the profit is made, I can satisfy my personal wants. Now this was there in two companies. One was a paper unit in Gujarat, where also the person, three brothers were there, and they started realizing that we must basically ensure that businesses needs are met, and then only we should look at the personal finance. Financial accounting, streamlining and presentation. This was a unit which was manufacturing gas cylinders and had some turnkey projects business, and they were not focusing on financial accounting much, and the presentation which needs to be, as a result, their funding from the banks institutions was getting stuck. When they started doing this, they realized that yes, if we present our case properly, the funding becomes much more easier. So these are some of the cases, where that how we as CMS can do a lot of value addition, help the businesses to grow, and in the process, we also get a lot of experience, lot of inputs from different angles. I had read one article of Narayan. I have a lot of collection of Narayan Murthy's suggestions. On this, he calls it as a PSPD model for any business. He says if any business has to grow, there has to be predictability of the revenues. You should be able to predict your revenues for 1 to 3 years, if not 5 years, fairly accurately, or in a manner whereby you are taking a proper action to see that whatever is required to be created as a backup for revenue generation, you are able to do it. Second thing is that for a business, sustainability is more important. You have to see that the business survives on a long-term basis, and accordingly you have to keep on planning. You know how this Reliance, they had into this mobile business, mobile. Now, how they have kept on changing their strategies, even in their petroleum business, how they keep on changing their strategies to suit the changing economic environment, changing business environment where the competition is increasing. And today, Jamnagar is the biggest refinery in the world. Profitability, whatever be the business, unless you have right profitability and cost control, you cannot survive on a long-term basis. Your profitability has to be in a proper manner, properly assessed, properly monitored, and do everything necessary through cost control, whatever innovation is required, product mix, whatever. You have to see that the profitability is maintained. Then, in a very big business, you have to keep on de-risking your business. You should not be dependent on one product, because in today's fast-moving economic environment, there is a huge challenge that your businesses can run into difficulty at any point of time. These are my some of the four favorite movies. Mission Mangal, you must have seen. He gives a wonderful leadership example, how a leadership basically should move and motivate his team, stand by them in crisis, so that the overall targets are achieved. Second thing is Rocket Singh. Here, wonderful lessons are there for entrepreneurship, how a business can slowly grow to a level. And this is what every entrepreneur should basically learn, understand, and learn. Badmash company is another extreme, what the businessman should not do. And the best part is Three Idiots, which says, excellence का पीछा करो, success जक मार के तुम्हारे पीछे आएगी. So if you are into a business, and if you are trying to put your best, you are creating an excellence, then success has to be there. I feel people should basically try to understand Baiju's story as to what has happened and how the business has failed in a very miserable way. Now, this is my vision and mission, because this is the thing which keeps me going on day-to-day basis, and I keep on working on these areas. My first mission is to create management development programs, conduct management development programs, or webinars, 99 rupees webinars, to teach the fundamentals of financial management for SMEs and SME owners. Because beyond doubt, I am very clear that SME owners' biggest limitation is lack of financial management understanding. And this is somehow has to be created, because then only they will know how they can use our services as CMAs. If they don't know what is credit rating, if they don't know what is balance sheet, P&L account, or a cash flow, how they will make use of our services, or what will they expect from us? They should know exactly what the problem is. If I feel hungry, I know that there is a South Indian restaurant which gives me within my budget the required food. If I don't know that, where will I go? So the SME owner's knowledge is the most important thing. Second is, I am working on my third book, SME Growth Challenges and Solutions, which I'm working on, and it's from my side, it's almost ready now. We will go for the next stage of publishing it. Third is my vision, the great thing where I want our professional institutes and other people to come forward, create an ecosystem for SME growth navigation, ETS model, where E stands for educate. The SME owners, entrepreneurs need to be educated. T is to train them and their team, and S stands for supporting the SMEs and the MSMEs and the businessmen with the proper support structure, because their existing organizations have a lot of limitations where the support systems are required. Now, this is the my vision and mission for the on which I'm working right now. These are my contact details. If anyone wants to contact, feel free to contact me. I would be available and will give you the necessary inputs if I can. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So,
Yes.
yes, so now with this, we are opening up the session for the question and answers. So if anyone has any question, please unmute yourself and please raise your question. Or you can ask your question to Chaitanya, sir.
Hello, can I speak?
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Firstly, I really feel happy that I got a chance to hear from you. I mean, it was a very enriching evening sessions and got over very early, actually. Like, still a lot of things to learn. So, this is CMA Darshana here. Like, I stay in Mumbai. I wanted to ask, are practicing CMA allowed for CFO, VCFO services?
See, CFO, there is no qualification requirement.
No, is it allowed like in CA? I understand that they are not allowed to practice or tell them as VCFOs.
I don't think there is any limitation unless
Okay,
it is there in certificate of practice.
okay,
See, CFO is a professional qualification, professional service which is required by the businesses, and that is
agreed.
what can be given.
Yes, yes. Okay, no, I thought that practicing CMAs or CAs are not allowed. Like whoever has a certificate of practice are not allowed to work because indirectly it is like employee of the company.
Yes, certificate of practice, there could be a limitation. I don't hold CPA.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, I hold one, so that is why I asked you again if we are allowed to do that. Okay. So, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can you share your contact number and address?
Last slide, it is there.
Can you share that again?
How do you want me to share?
Just to share it on the laptop. Last slide only.
Last slide, 1 minute.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
I am CMA Rakesh from Ahmedabad, sir. I want to know, sir, just you have given one book reference regarding the posting. Can you repeat the book name, sir?
The goal. The
Which
goal.
the goal.
Yes.
Author, sir?
Author is Mr. Godard.
Mr. Godard. Okay, thank you,
Yes.
sir.
It's a very, very popular book, The Goal.
Okay.
Hello,
Thank you,
sir. Hello, sir. I am Jagdish Mistry from Ahmedabad.
Yes.
I am very pleased to listen you. I am an engineer, cost accountant, company secretary, IP and IBBI and CBDT registered valuer.
Fantastic.
And doing wonderful in terms of the plant capacity, layout, functioning implications of the industry implication. I have got wonderful experience and exposure. I had worked in the industry almost for 40 years, and I am practicing today as a registered valuer and doing a lot of work for bank, finance, and other institutions whereby the financial implications are there. But I
Yes.
find still there is a concern in terms of the sourcing of correct asset financing and its implications. Because the due diligence of the asset acquisition vis-a-vis the reality of the expected performance once they will put to use is a very challenging implications, wherein I had been supporting a lot of people in this ground. So in case you have some kind of this type of work, I shall be pleased to associate with you. I'm in Ahmedabad and
Sure.
I'm ex-general manager of Zydus Cadila Group Company. And whatever experience you have shown, all I had passed through, including I am Ahmedabad Advanced Studies in Financial Management and General Management also.
Very good.
So
Very
what you have described is highly relevant, which I had passed through throughout my life. Thank you, sir, and
True.
giving me an opportunity to share my thought process. And
Thank you.
wish you a
Good.
very, very good luck in terms of your books and knowledge, sir.
Thank you.
I'm Ravindra Joshi. Can you share your phone number and address? Or you can share in the chat also.
Where is chat? 1 minute. 1 minute.
Sir, just one request to all members and to you as well. We are going to share the presentation, all the registered email IDs who have attended this webinar. So once we share the PPT, along with PPT, you will all get the contact details of the Chaitanya sir.
Thank you very much. Acha, I am a Ravindra Joshi. I am basically a mechanical engineer from College of Engineering, Pune. Then I
Yes.
have completed the ICWA. I have worked in a big organization like RCF Limited, Fertilizer as a mechanical engineer. Then in a Hawkins Cooker Limited as a head of the finance and tax. And then I work as an independent consultant to the promoter, directly to the promoter, not day-to-day working, just to make a decision making and all that. When I gone through your lecture, it was like reminding of what I have done for the last 10 years with the promoter. And what I have noticed, which I would like to share with you, is small and micro, whenever we go and ask them the question, they get hesitated. They think that I am going to start their business and I will be a competitor many a times. What I have noticed. Number two, what I have noticed is they don't have any decision making or professionalism in their day-to-day working, which I have come across like you in the big organization. Generally, what they do, they ask their friends, they ask their CAs, what should I do? Should I go for a new factory? Should I increase the capacity? And CAs are mostly engaged in their auditing and other works. And based on that, they say, okay, go ahead. But there is no professionalism in decision making. One of the example is in Baddi, near Chandigarh, Baddi area,
Yes.
which is where one of my clients asked the CA, can I buy a land? Because they got a limited period for income tax exemption. And that period was almost over in 10 years or 15 years. Then CA said, no problem. You can buy land anytime. There will be the increase in the prices and all that. But he is not aware of that. What is the Baddi situation? After 10 or 15 years, their income tax exemption will be not, they will not get exemption. That will be, there will not be any exemption thereafter. But that is why when I noticed they ask so many things, people around them, and then they take a decision according to their wisdom. Which and there is really, I fully agree with you. There is really a huge opportunity for a person who has a technical knowledge, who has a taxation knowledge, who has a finance knowledge, to guide the SMEs in a big way.
No, 1 minute, 1 minute. I mentioned, the 3 vision and mission, which I mentioned about what I'm working on. The first is that SME owners themselves have lot of limitations today. They don't know what to ask for.
Yes, I agree, sir.
If as a owner, if as a person who has to take the services, if I don't know what I have to ask my person, then what kind of a result can I expect? This is the
Agreed.
biggest challenge, and that's why my first mission is that I want to create an ecosystem management development program I have created, where I want to basically educate the SME owners what kind of role they have to play, what is their role within the business, what questions they should ask. Today they take service providers and they have no clue about what they are doing.
What they are doing. Let me share one example. One of my clients finished our internal audit. Now everything will be okay. Then I asked him what internal audit is. No, doing his job, he know what to do. So that is what it supplement to your views. He don't know what he wants.
Exactly, that's the point. This is what I am basically working on. This is where I want our CMA Institute and others to come forward. A awareness needs to be created today. As a business owner, SME owner, he doesn't know what he has to ask the service provider, whether it is CMA or an engineer.
And even I have noticed when there is a technocrat entrepreneur or a marketing entrepreneur, they totally neglect the finance and accounting department. They don't know what to extract from the accounting and finance department to improve upon efficiently our business and expand our business.
See, this management development program which I am talking about,
Yes, sir.
effective financial management for SME owners. The focus is for them to understand what is financial management, why it is required, how it can be done, what is their role within that. This is something they need to be hammered in their mind.
And only one or two program will not do it. Should be hammered continuously. Then they will realize the importance, or then they will realize how to expand their business and what is the role of the financial management in their expanding the business.
Exactly.
Sir, can you share your phone number? Because what happens, sometimes I may not, what he said, he will share the PPT, but sometimes I do not get the PPT, and in that case, the problem is that I cannot.
In the chat box, I have given the number.
You are given the number.
I have given my name and the number both.
I will look into the chat box.
Sir, I'm speaking Prasant Subuddin from Saudi Arabia. I'm from Pune. I'm here working as a consultant to one company here.
Your voice is not clear. Voice is breaking.
Yes, sir. Prasant Subuddin from Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
CMAs Prasant Subuddin. Sir, one thing I'm asking you, for private equity or as a consultant, how to whom I will coordinate as a for SME or any other entrepreneur, or to act as a private equity consultant, how will I get the?
So you are working with a firm which is giving private equity, or you want to take private equity for your business?
No, I want to act as a private equity consultant for other as a service consultant. Those who needs, then I will providing them guidance. The how will be how will I will grow in that levels, and who will be the networkings?
See, there are people who are having private equity firms. They are into private equity and venture capital. They are known as venture capitalists and private equity players.
Okay.
You should contact them. There are a number of such people in India.
Okay.
Even in Saudi, there will be many.
Okay. Means
they can guide you, and they can possibly take your services to coordinate between the borrower and themselves.
Okay. Means merchant bankers are like banks I have to coordinate? They have some because
No. There are private equity players and venture capitalists.
Okay,
These are
okay.
different types of business setups.
Uh-huh. So in India, where are we getting that list? Can I get in the Google?
Yeah, you can try in Google that venture capitalists in India and private equity players in India. You'll get a whole
So
list of it.
means I will work as a consultant for the what will be their business requirement, all this data to have to provide to them.
See, you contact them, or you do
Okay.
one thing. You talk to me on my phone tomorrow, on Monday or Tuesday. Then I'll discuss with you in detail.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? Yes, Sagar. Is Sagar there, Malpure?
Yes, sir. I'm there. I'm just waiting for. I'm giving some time to all the audience to think
Okay.
over on if they are having any questions. And meanwhile, I request all the lovely audience who have joined for the today's session. You can post all your feedback on the link provided in the chat box. Your feedback will help us to better in future, and it will help to deliver more value. That is a short and quick ask to all the audience. And if you have any questions, please unmute your mic and please ask your question.
Sir, this is Dhananjay Jadhav from Nasik. So we have written two books. So if you want to get it, is there available on online through Amazon or something like that? These
Yes.
books.
See, the first one
So
is basically may
what
not
is
be available because it is through IMC, Indian Merchants Chamber.
okay?
The
What is the
second book is available
Indian
on Amazon.
Amazon MSME Banking and Finance?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so any more questions? I know weekend evening is waiting for you all. It's
Sir,
Friday finally and a long weekend, and still I can see almost 75 audience were there till last point of this meeting. So this says that the session was wonderful and we had an amazing speaker for the today's evening.
My pleasure.
So okay, so with this Dhananjay sir, I'll go ahead for the wrap up session and thank you note. So
Okay.
on behalf of ICMI Pimpri chapter and Nashik chapter, I say a thank you to you, sir, for taking out the time from your busy schedule and for giving us such a nice presentation. And definitely, this will add a value to all the CMAs, and definitely all those 75 CMAs will take some thing in their mind and with themselves, so that they can implement all those lessons into their life. And definitely, this session will boost themselves to do something better. Okay, for the SMEs who are into the practice as well.
I'll
So,
just add a small thing.
yep, sure, sir.
Yeah, see, Dhananjay, I think you are, I think, in the Central Council also, right?
No, I am at Nasik chapter.
Okay. See, I would suggest in Nasik, I used to come earlier, for now Graphite India.
Okay, great.
See,
Okay.
the institute has to take a lot of steps to educate even the SME owners. Besides our own professionals who are having this basic background and knowledge, I think you need to do something with the SME formats, and say in place like now Nasik or Pune,
Mm-hmm.
there are
Mm-hmm.
various forums where the SMEs are there. They need to be made aware regarding their issues which are there. our CMA Institute should start awareness program for the SME owners, because it will help to create a lot of practice opportunities for the CMS.
Correct.
Today they have no idea.
Actually,
Definitely, sir. And your suggestion is well taken. Dhananjay sir, would you like to add anything to this one?
yeah, definitely, sir. Even in Nasik as well, MSME industries are still there. They are still struggling with these issues which we discuss now. So we will definitely think on it and definitely try to approach them, and we can arrange some program or a platform where we can discuss their issues and provide the solution to them through our institute. Definitely, we can do that.
My suggestion would be just one management development program for 3-4 hours, because they don't have more capacity to stay 3-4 hours for effective financial management for SME owners. What they should know as an
Mhm.
owner,
Yeah.
because then only they can basically take services from us.
Yes, yes, definitely,
Normally,
definitely.
they are
Actually,
conducted. Normally, they are conducted by Pune Chamber of Commerce, sir. I've seen
Huh?
Chamber of Commerce in Pune.
Number of
Commerce.
commerce.
commerce,
Uh,
Chamber of
some,
Commerce.
uh.
Yeah,
So
through them.
industrial association, sir.
But then in that case, CMS can join hands with the chambers.
Exactly.
That is the
That
best
can,
thing, best option available.
yes.
Chaitanya sir, actually, I'm Sagar Malpure, ex-chairman and current PD committee chairman of Pimpri chapter.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
actually, we were trying to get in touch with Maratha Chamber of Commerce from last 2.5 years, but their program is too busy, and we are still our proposal is still lying with them on their table. So we are waiting for their feedback, and definitely we are also conducting the seminars along with the Maharashtra Tax Practitioner Association, then small scale industry over here in Pimprinchod, because in Pimprinchod we have almost 7 MIDCs who is surrounding to Pimprinchod chapter. So we are already in touch with them, and definitely the one suggestion you gave was the management development program. So definitely we will be in touch with you after this program, after this webinar, and we will see like how can we implement that MDP of 3 or 4 hours or full day program, so that maximum
See,
participant and CMAs can take the benefit of it.
Sagar, what I would suggest, tell them that, have a 3-hour program for understanding effective financial management for SME owners. Just 3 hours. They will get a lot of inputs, insights, because that program is different. That is not like this. It will be different, in a different scale altogether. What they should know as a business owner.
Correct, sir.
So they
Sir,
because they need this very badly.
one thing, sir, I think one thing,
Yes.
sir, entire session you one missed, I think. What is the technological disruption? How it will impact in the SME, this SME industries or entrepreneurs? That is not, I think, covered. That may be covered in the future topic, I think.
I didn't get you.
Technological disruption, the current changing
Yes.
technological disruption, and the technology changes, and
True.
if they're not innovated, that may be wiped out from the market. There's a big risking their project. So how they
See,
survive?
I just made a passing reference to artificial intelligence.
Yes,
That's going to be the biggest technological, disturbance for the industries.
correct. That is, I'm telling you, many SMEs will come and go without innovation and technological challenges that scan their business environment. How it will be, the revenue will be going to happen next year or not happen, very difficult.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right.
So that there should be time to time, there should be a take these challenges. If there is
See,
mail,
that they must be made aware. SME owners must be aware that what are the pitfalls, why they are not able to grow. Most of
exactly.
them are only in the circles of 15 to 30 crores.
Yes,
They need to basically understand they have to get out of that particular loop and move forward. Because once they move forward, they will know much better, how exactly to be done. They are very intelligent.
exactly.
They
They
need
are
to be
very
taught these things.
exactly. Technical insight and financial insight are very, very important further strategic, future
And there
strategic
is no
decision.
rocket science. Financial management is not a rocket science. They have to, it's a logical way of thinking, nothing else.
Sir, CMA Darshana here again. Sir, can I connect you on Monday or Tuesday whenever it is suitable for you on this topic for
No issue.
educating the SMEs? Like I do have a few things on my mind, so I'll be really happy if I can start it with you.
Okay. You can
Yeah.
contact me on Monday. You have my number, I suppose.
Yeah, I've already saved it. I've
Okay.
already. Thank you so
Or you
much,
can
sir. Thank
contact
you.
Mr. Sagar, no problem.
Yeah, okay, both ways. Thank you.
Yeah.
When I
I
will,
would
sir,
be
come
too
to
happy.
India, yes, sir. And when I will come to India, I think in March, I will maybe try to meet you, sir,
Sure.
personally. Thank you, sir.
I would be too happy. See, I am just completed 72. As I mentioned in my last slide, it's a mission for me because I have seen people struggling
Correct, sir.
and brilliant business
Sir,
ideas.
I would like to be a small volunteer for your mission.
Sure. When we discuss, I will tell you what exactly we can do.
Definitely. They're looking forward for it, sir.
Sure.
Sir, where is your office is located? Mumbai?
Dadar, yes. Bombay Dadar.
Dadar. Yes, I always visit Dadar because I am staying at Thana and one
Okay.
of my client is in Dadar, so I was visiting Dadar very often. So whenever time opportunity is there, we can meet, I think.
Sure. Most welcome. I would be too
Thank you.
happy to share my inputs because over almost 50 years, and I have been very, very lucky to go through various processes in the financial management, integrating with the general management. And the things which I have discussed today, I don't think you will find anywhere in any seminar or anything.
Fully agree, sir. That is why first time I called you immediately because I have experienced the same thing during my last 10 years of consultancy career. And I
Hmm.
used to directly have a relation with the promoter or a top or a in charge or a whoever is the proprietor.
Hmm.
And there I realized that they don't have full knowledge. And in my case, I have technical background, financial, taxation, accounting, and I got a wide exposure, even trust. We got a exempted trust, trust accounting, trust investment, everything.
Hmm.
All the gamut of the accounting and finance, including taxation. And
True.
then I realized that they need a multi-dimensional person to to address their issues. Not only the one point finance, from the taxation also, for any transaction, they need to know what will be the taxation impact. If I want to sell my asset, what will be the taxation impact? If I want to sell my house, how I can save the tax? There are so many issues, not only the income tax, but also the GST also, or previously it was a VAT and sale tax also.
I have my own views on this subject.
Yes, sir, please.
I have my own views on this subject. You don't need to have every knowledge with you. People are available. You should
People
know
are
what to
available.
ask. You should know what to ask.
What to ask?
And for that, you need to have clarity in your thinking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I don't know whether any one of you saw the Kumar Mangalam Birla interview in KBC.
Yes, I have
Has
seen,
anybody?
sir.
Huh?
Yes,
It's worth seeing. It will give you tremendous insight as to how the top business houses have been working. What are their value systems? So I think anything more?
You are correctly said. I am in working in Saudi Arabia for 3 years. After that time, my contract finished. I'm supposed to come back, but they again renewed my contract for 1 year, because I'm providing different services. They make investment analysis wrongly by the consultant. When I will involve, this is the right way. Then the Saudis now try to understand this is the way and make them easily understood. So in this way, then I go to operational excellence, working with McKinsey. McKinsey doing this, but at the ground level, how so convinced to the top management, because they're not professional like us. So in this way, I am already 6-7 years. They are renewing my contract. So it is our way how to explain to the different client and provide your service and that to their satisfaction. That is the only way.
Right. See, it is for the person who is taking the advice to know exactly as a business owner what is his goal and which service to be fixed where based on his requirement. If the owner doesn't know, then there is no use. It's a very big problem.
Correct. Very big problem. Right. Thank you, sir. Your big, great insight, and it help our profession and it help our country also to grow their business. And some they have no insight, but they're going to grow. If after getting insight, they maybe grow their business.
Great. Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So with this, we are going ahead for wrap-up session. So thank you to all the amazing audience and participants for joining our today's session and making it truly engaging. Your time, presence, and active participation has added a great value to this discussion. A special thanks to our speaker for this evening, CMA Chaitanya Shah sir, for insightful perspectives and practical takeaways, and to the organizing team of Pimpri chapter and Nashik chapter for their seamless coordination. So, sir, we look forward to your continued association and to welcoming you in our upcoming programs and wishing you all a continued learning and professional growth. And
Thank you so much.
happy Republic Day to all of you well in advance.
Thanks. In fact, Dhananjay and
Yes,
Sagar,
sir.
I may contact you separately.
Yeah, please.
Maybe
Yep, sure,
sometime
sir.
next week or thereafter.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, sir.
Okay.
Definitely, sir. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Shall we
Okay,
close
thank
now?
you and good night, sir.
Okay, good night.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Really,
So,
thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. I close it now?
Thank you,
Yep,
sir.
sure,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So happy
Thank
weekend
you.
to all of you. Happy long weekend.
Thanks.
Enjoy your 3 days of 3 days.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the
Thank
participants.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.